Welcome to Be the Sun, Not the Salt, our podcast on how we can help each other in the world be our best selves more often. I'm Dr. Harry Cohen, author of Be the Sun, Not the Salt. I'm joined by my co-host, Connie Fontaine, all things Be the Sun, Not the Salt, chief super spreader. And we're going to dig into the chapters in this book as helpful reminders of how we can do just that, be our best selves more often. Con?
That's right. These mini episodes do help us be our best selves. They nudge us to talk to each other about being our best selves when we're doing it well, when we're not, and hope they're doing the same for you. Chapter 11, Learn to Walk Away, is interesting because it's similar to chapter 10, which is Don't Hang with Cilantro, but there's a difference. I mean, than what your intent was on these chapters. So let's get into that, because I think, let me just reference chapter 10. We talked about surround yourself with people who brighten your outlook, be good company and keep good company. Sometimes it's hard. So there we go. Learn to walk away, chapter 11.
So learn to walk away is a skill that we continually have to practice, which has to do with protecting our roots. And there's a quote in there, be graceful, be kind.
And when you find yourself in the presence of salt, be gone.
Thank you. And that means don't overthink it. Don't complicate it. Just move away. Mm-hmm. Don't make a big dramatic deal about him, her, it, them. Just Just use your legs and walk away. Now, that's an action, and you don't have to do anything more than slide to a better environment. I find that incredibly helpful because it keeps me focused on what's most important and avoiding.
Well, and you mean figuratively too. It's not just necessarily using your legs and walking away from a situation, but it's emotionally. Sometimes you got to walk away from a feeling, a problem, a thing. I mean, sometimes it's a lot easier said than done for people, for sure.
And that also involves counting to 10, counting to 5, right, counting to however many you need to count to regain your composure and do the next right thing. Mm-hmm. But this notion that you can leave the environment that is toxic for you, I believe, is very helpful. There's many different types of mini toxic environments. You can have just an exchange with another person, and it can be icky, mm-hmm, salt in your roots, move away. You can work in an environment or a family, you're like, boy, this is not good for me. Good. Well, let's make a plan to get out of there, mm-hmm, whatever it might be. So I think it's being mindful of your own roots, mindful of the choice and the power that we have to get out of there. Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes it's as simple as telling the person, I really don't want to go there. Mm-hmm. Let's not do this. I care about our relationship. So let's move on to something, how about them tigers?
Oh my God.
A friend of mine always says that when he's joking around, we're on a topic that everyone's going, yeah. So how about them tigers? That's
it's cute.
His way of moving on.
Yep. It's a playful, it's code for let's talk about something fluffy and delightful.
Yep. Exactly. So you walk away. So yeah, let's say you have a situation, and I think family, we're getting into the well, first we're still in election season, so that's always a hot topic. We are getting into Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the holidays for people, spending time with family. Let's talk about walking away. Some of those examples.
So all of us are familiar with family minefields where certain topics and people are guaranteed to be explosions. And now you're not an idiot. We know this. We all know this. So now, how do we avoid those minefields? Feel victorious if you don't step on a mine. You know what I mean?
It's true.
You avoid Aunt Mildred. Mm-hmm. And I'm using Aunt Mildred, mm-hmm, in the spirit, yeah, of
in case, because I'm sure there's some nice Aunt Mildreds out there.
Exactly. This came from Rachel Hollis. Everyone has an Aunt Mildred, mm-hmm, and that is the person that, no, there's nothing fruitful that's going to come from a conversation. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of mindset we have to have, especially during election season and family, Thanksgiving, and the holidays coming up. Literally be thoughtful about, I don't want to go anywhere near that. Mm-hmm. Good, don't.
Yeah, celebrate yourself when you don't. I think, mm-hmm, it goes back to one of the conversations we had in one of the chapters about needing to make sure everyone knows you're right. Because there are times when you're right, you're not going to convince everyone you're right. So why are you doing that?
That's right.
Walk away from it.
And I love that. And, to your last point, that's a big one. Give yourself some high fives for avoiding a mess.
Yeah, you get actually, I think you get extra credit. You get more credit for walking away and avoiding a mess than you do by proving you're right. That's 1 point. 2 points for walking away.
Love it.
So do we have anything today? Do you feel like you've got anything today you're going to need to walk away from?
Let me think. No, not that I can foresee in terms of all the interactions I'm going to be having today. I don't see any. That doesn't mean that I won't find myself in one of those interactions and go, uh-oh, exit stage left, or check, please.
Yeah, I think it's
Don't
partly
need to
because
continue.
you do surround yourself with good people. And we try not to surround ourselves with people we want to walk away from.
I think it's a worthwhile point that we are deliberate about who we spend our time with. Very deliberate.
Right.
So that's a great practice.
So when we do, we don't turn on our heel and stomp away. That's not a good way to walk away.
Yeah.
I think you brought it up in the beginning of this conversation. It's be respectful, be kind, do it in the way you want to be remembered when your back is all people see. I think I love the word that you used in the book, be graceful, because that always helps me. It's like, again, give yourself a pat on the back, be graceful, and be the kind of person you want to be seen as when you walk away from those situations.
Let's do it.
Well, good. Well, hopefully this inspired you to walk away when you need to walk away. Please let us know if there was a particular instance you want to share. Otherwise, share this with somebody, maybe leave a comment, and definitely follow our podcast so that you get notified every time we drop a new episode. Thanks so much for listening.